Hey, this is Fred Ottman, Tugboat Typhoon, the Shockmaster, the B-A-double-D, Big Steel Man. And the card is subject to change. Watch it.
Welcome back to the show!
Welcome back to the show!
And now, your hosts of the Card Subject to Change podcast, the For Frequency's Sake Tag Team Champions of the World, the Wizard CZ, and Never Wrong Nick Bull.
Hello, one and all, and welcome back to another exciting edition of the Card Subject to Change podcast, the podcast by the fan for the fan. Of course, I am your host, Never Wrong Nick Bull. Thank you so much for joining us, finding us, however that may be, whether you watch us live or listen back to us. We appreciate it, and we're glad you're here. Of course, we got a lot of stuff to talk about, so we got to introduce the other players in the game here, and we'll get on our way. I'd be remiss if I did not introduce to you my tag team partner. He is the co-champion of the For Frequency's Sake Tag Team Championship Network with myself. He's my partner on the show, over 200 episodes. He is the one. He is the only. He is the Wizard CZ. Wiz, how you doing, bud?
I am feeling good. We had a good weekend. We're here to talk about it, and we're not alone. We've got our good friend, my biggest fan.
What?
He's down there below me and Nick. He is the one, the only Joe the Show Winkle. Joe, how you doing, buddy?
Back in your life, like Eddie Guerrero's, back in your life, like a ladder match for the custody of a child that isn't yours. We're here, ready to rock and roll. Listen,
You wanted to say back in your life like the ending of night 2 of SummerSlam.
no, we're gonna get to that. I wanted to be funny to start the show.
I got you, dude. I got you.
This is gonna be a roller coaster. I am okay. It's great to see you guys. So nice you invited me on the podcast in 1 week twice. I'm happy I'm here. Been 2 days of work, that's for sure. But I'm hoping that we're all gonna get all of our feelings out today. We got some cool stuff we might talk about or announce. Foreshadowing. I just broke the fourth wall, maybe the fifth wall. That's how wide I am. But it's good to see you as always, and we are ready to rock and sock as always. There we go. Now we're pretty.
I like
that's
that.
not too bad.
I don't mind that.
Sorry, I was getting commandments from the tribal chief.
What are you sorry for?
Being magical.
Don't be sorry.
That is really cool. I don't know whoever made this for y'all. Y'all got the best graphics. Y'all got the best outlines. I'm jealous.
I mean,
This
I
is
need your
the-
graphics department.
perception is reality, Joe.
I need you guys. Do y'all have RVD's spray paint guy who does it? Is he doing your graphics?
No, we got the
No.
SummerSlam. The person that did the SummerSlam graphics this year, they did a background for us. All
There you go.
the spray paint on the subways and stuff. Yeah, this is the kids
Same
call
guy.
it marking your territory.
Well, it's better than taking a whiz in public. That's for sure.
I guess it is.
Yes.
Of course, we are here. It's Tuesday. We did a show on Saturday night, immediately following night 1 of SummerSlam. And then we purposely waited till tonight as we record right now, Tuesday, so we could watch SummerSlam night 2 and then be able to watch and digest Monday Night Raw. Of course, the Raw after SummerSlam. Now, I would be an idiot, a blind fool, a negligent person if we didn't obviously talk about what happened at the end of SummerSlam Night 2. Right, wrong, or indifferent, it's a very polarizing topic in not only the wrestling world, but in wrestling journalism, sports journalism. Obviously, WWE did their homework, thought that he was fine, and cleared him 4 weeks ago. That does not make this right. I'm just saying what is fact. That does not make this right. My initial thought of when it happened was shock. I didn't think the guy would ever come back. So when I heard that music, I couldn't believe it. All right. B, the reason why I didn't think he'd come back is due to this relative case that's going on right now with Vince McMahon and John Laurinaitis. And I know Brock Lesnar is not a defendant, but has been named in this case up to over 40 times, I believe I read. I don't know the exact number. I want to say like 42, 43, something like that. But it's over
44 is the exact number from what I saw.
I knew I was. My questioning is this. Yes, it's too soon. Yes, it's a bad look for WWE. But in WWE's offense, they're going to say, listen to that pop. I think whatever happened in that situation, people were going to react. So I think that's a poor case for WWE to leave on. What he's being accused of is not good. It's not good. I honestly, I just want to say, I don't condone it. I don't think it's right. But at the same time, he hasn't been proven guilty. I'm not saying that makes him innocent by any means, but until he's proven guilty, we have to assume he's in it. Even though his name's been mentioned 45 times, okay? And I'm not a law expert by any means, fellas, but I know there's a big difference between criminal and civil case. That all down here, I just wanted to get out in front and say, shocked as hell that it happened. Then start asking myself, why are they doing this? Why so soon? And yes, I think Triple H threw John Cena under the bus when he said it's Cena's retirement tour and John wanted to work with him. That to me seems like I'm going to pass the buck if there ever was passing the buck.
I'm glad you said that before I did, man. God, did he run? Did Triple H not sprint from that on Saturday night? Jeez Louise.
And it's obvious that's why we didn't get pressers either night or pressers going forward. So I wanted to present the facts. I wanted to present how I felt initially when the whole thing went down. Because granted, it's wrong. I don't like it. I'm not going to let those few moments with Brock Lesnar post-main event ruin what I thought was an excellent night of SummerSlam. If that makes me a blind idiot, then so be it. This is an escape for me. This is a place where I can be never wrong Nick Bull. People can laugh along with the joke, and we talk about wrestling. Okay? When politics come into it, I don't want to mix it because politics, religion, you just don't talk. What your salary is, we don't openly talk about those things unless we're in a private group, so on and so forth. So I'm not going to use this platform to throw what I believe and my values out there at you and expect you to take them in. I'm going to use this platform to tell you I didn't think it was right. The timing was wrong. Maybe somewhere down the road it could have been done, but so soon right now is not a good look. And after you guys give your viewpoints on this, you take as long as you want. I am more than happy to talk about the match that happened before it and what I would consider one of John Cena's best 3 matches. But I know we got to talk about this before we talk about the wrestling. So I got off my chest what I wanted to get off my chest. I don't think differently of people that think differently of me, but that is where I stand right now. I'm going to chew something because I'm kind of hungry.
Joe, I know you're itching to talk, so I'm going to let you take the floor next.
All right. Whew. That means we're saving the best for last, right? Okay.
Yeah.
Woo! I've been itching to talk. The first thing I looked at, so behind this, we're gonna do a little card subject to change Unreal here for a second, right? So we were thinking maybe we'll do a show Sunday Night Live, and then CZ texts us. He's like, "Man, I was up late." Because the three of us have a group chat, which is one of many group chats we both have. We're not exclusive here. We're not an exclusive thruple. We get out and around.
We're not.
So, I mean, we can be if you're.
I'm kidding you, man.
So, CZ's like, yeah. I mean, and then he was like, I think he even said it Saturday night, like, unless something like earth shattering happens, I don't want to do a live show. And then afterwards, I joke with him, and we're watching the show together as I drop my little slinky, and I said, CZ, I'm sure I think that this would have qualified as a reason to have a live show. So, we laughed about it. We shrugged it off. I've been itching to talk about this, and I want to, not that I didn't think it was possible, because I've known this man for years now, and he's done nothing but give rational opinions about anything. He always finds a way, no matter what way I think he's going to go, he always hits it out of the park, and that is you, my friend, good Nick, because what you gave was a rational take about the situation. And the problem that I have had over the last 48 hours or whatever it's been is people who, look, the three of us in some way, shape, or form, we are media. We are content creators. But there are other people who are much hierarchy or have a much higher standing in that realm than we do. And the problem that I have had are those types of people who have basically said, in fewer words or more sometimes, that if you didn't like what happened, or if you thought in any way, shape, or form that it was wrong, that you were a crazy person and you didn't know what you were talking about, what iota, blah, blah, blah. What Nick gave was an incredibly rational take, and it was one of the best that I have actually heard anybody give. He nailed it, and everything he said I agree with. I only disagree. The only thing that I technically disagree with is that it was hard for me to try to watch bits of Raw yesterday. That's it. I was like, God, this feels gross, because it's just, and this is, I want to refrain myself, or I want to portray what I am. Brock Lesnar is one of my favorite wrestlers ever. He's the reason I got into watching the UFC. Brock was one of the OG favorite guys I've ever watched. He was one of the top guys when I first started wrestling and watching wrestling in the early 2000s. I just cannot believe that they did this. But here's the problem. Maybe I shouldn't be shocked that they did this. It was tasteless. I don't know if that's the right word. The biggest question that I keep coming around to is, why does it have to be him? And then I quickly answer it with, because all this company cares about is making you go, wow, what a moment. They care about
a little bit of the
I agree with you, but here's the thing. John Cena's final match, I don't know if they're going to push this Brock feud to be that bit long, but maybe, oh, wow, I pissed Nick off that much. Oh, my God. I'm kidding.
No.
I know. John Cena's final match, no matter who it's against, it could be against this headset. It could be against this picture of me and my soon-to-be wife. It could be against this Bob Ross bobblehead. It's going to make $1 bajillion.
Can we have it be against the monkey?
That one maybe not as well. Okay, that one will do better than the headset. I will say that, but it's on the podium. That's one of the biggest questions that I have, is why they don't have to do this. And then Triple H sprinting from the moment to say this was John's wanting, just like Triple H saying, allegations are allegations when they ask him questions about the lawsuit. Like, Triple H is one of the 12 worst PR trained people in the world, and it's hilarious to see him dodge stuff like this. Them stopping the pressers, there's two ways about it. One, It's a completely obvious why they did it, but also they didn't accomplish too much because you get people up there asking about what type of Waffle House order you would want. And you have those types of people that were asking those types of questions. So should they even have been happening in the first place? Probably not. At the end of the day, what Nick also said was true. Like, he is like innocent until proven guilty is a fact. But I'll tell you this, man, I can read text messages that are in open litigation that pretty much say allegedly that good old VKM used this woman that is suing the company to. One of the issues here is that he used this woman as a bargaining chip in one way or another, allegedly, to try to get Brock to resign. Apparently they never met for one reason or another, but stuff was sent with whatever have you. It would have been much better if this was over and then Brock came back. All in all, it left you guys were going nuts. I just sat there when it happened, like, I cannot believe they did this. And again, Brock's one of my favorite wrestlers ever. He's one of my favorite guys I've ever seen. He's an attraction. I've always loved Brock, but him being involved in this and then them doing this now, it's disgusting, and it sucks, dude. It sucks because do you know why? Spoiler alert, the main event was one of the best matches in either company all season long. It had some warts maybe because of the stuff were there too many finishers and too many kickouts? Sure, but it was awesome. It was John Cena's best match in like 8 years. And he could have retired Sunday night, and I think we all would have been happy. If they would have said Sunday night was John Cena's last match, I would have been super fine if that's how he went out. But the clock kept ticking, the camera kept rolling, Brock Lesnar's music hit, and here we are. And it sucks because certain people it's not that people are, I'm not here and no one's here to be a grifter or to tell you what you shouldn't like. But I also think like those types of media people I was talking about that are calling people like woke and like they're saying people are soft because they think that sex trafficking allegedly is a bad thing. Like, that is wild to me. Just the craziest thing I've ever seen in my life. So that type of stuff really hurt as someone who looks at himself as some form of content creator or media person. To see the mountains that certain folks died on this weekend really hurt me. I'm not going to stop watching wrestling. It was hard for me to turn on Raw last night. Eventually I did, to watch the last 5 minutes of Raw just to see what happened. I'm not going to not watch WWE again because I think that's just, it is what, unless like unless this happened, and this is what I'm worried about, man. And then I will get on, and then we can get on to the good stuff because there was a lot of good stuff that happened on Sunday. I'm worried that stuff like this is a litmus test for them to bring the real devil back in some way, shape, or form. And that's what I'm terrified about. And I don't know. I'm scared. I'm terrified to see what the reaction is when that happens. Hopefully it never comes. All in all, felt good to get that out. I was holding just a lot of stuff in the last 2 days, but we're good. CZ, what do you got? Whew.
So I am not going to be able to wax poetic like the two of you gentlemen did. You both had a lot of good points that I agree with. I can kind of see WWE's point of view on this. As much as I hate it, I don't like it, I don't condone it. It's like you said, Joe, disgusting, but no press is bad press. That is 100% their view. This got eyes that probably shouldn't be on the product, but now are because of his return. And it's not going to take away my love for the business. It's not going to take my enjoyment away from watching any wrestling promotion, whether it's WWE, whether it's on the indies, wherever. I'm not going to just say, okay, screw wrestling, I'm out. I'm not going to say screw WWE, I'm out. They still have a lot of good things going for them that I like to follow. And if you're gonna walk away from WWE or the business, that's on you. I understand your point of view, I understand your perspective, but that's not who I am, because this is my escape. This is my break from reality for 2-3 hours, however long a show is. And coming on here to talk about said break from reality with my friends and co-hosts, who Nick always, Joe whenever you are available, or any guests that we have. It's not going to diminish my love of this business that I've been a part of, not like involved per se, but this has been in my life since I was a kid. You know, we did not a tribute. It wasn't a tribute. We looked at Hulk Hogan when he passed a week or two ago, but we didn't look at the bad stuff, which I don't condone his behavior either as the man he is, but I can't negate his legacy. I choose to look at the good that is still there, not necessarily Brock. And I think I'm with you, Joe. I think I share the sentiment, Joe. I don't think it's ever going to happen, but if they bring back the devil that you're speaking of, then I might be at the point where, okay, I need to step away from this.
It's the thing I'm worried about the most, man.
I mean, I think it's something you have to think about, because if anything's possible in the realm of pro wrestling, we have seen so many things we never thought we would see. You know, people that hated each other working together side by side. So I'm not going to say it's not that it's not a possibility. I just think it's an extreme. I don't know if TKO WWE would do that, but who knows? Who knows? I there has been scandal after scandal after scandal after scandal, if you want to look at the pro wrestling world. It's a seedy business, right?
No one's hands are clean.
No one's hands are clean, and I'm not saying, you know, what happened with WWE and Brock Lesnar is a good thing, but that doesn't make the fact that I like Gunther a bad thing because he works for them. That doesn't make Dominic Mysterio a horrible person, you know, blah blah blah. That's just sadly, it was at the culmination of a great event, and unfortunately, everybody is going to remember what happened afterwards. I've hardly heard anything said, or I haven't had a chance to. I haven't seen anything the last couple of days to read that talks about how good the main was overall. The event, the crowd, you know, seemed to be down at different times. Crowd was awful during that Becky and Lyra match. If a live crowd that live crowd just crapped all over that match, and it wasn't a horrible match. And I felt bad after going back and watching for those ladies at times in that match. But that's neither here nor there. The weekend, I looked forward to it. It was a fun time. It was a good 2 nights of shows. Did I love everything on night one? No, there was probably one really great match, and the rest were kind of okay, but nothing was awful. And then night 2, I think was really good. And then, you know, barring what happened there at the end of the show. So I'm ready to break down any match you guys want to, unless you guys got anything else that you want to say about the ending of SummerSlam and what's going to happen in the foreseeable future.
The last thing I've got on it right now, going back to the part about Triple H, Triple Paul, passing the buck like he's so good at. I think I'm not kidding when I say how poorly PR trained he is. Like, I wish someone would get in his ear and say, dude, if you just answered to something or had better responses, it would maybe soften the blow a little bit. Like the way he originally handled the stuff when the lawsuits first came out. The way he handled like just the subtle shots that he takes to always put himself over. Like Saturday or Sunday night after bringing Brock back, he sits on that desk with Joe Tess and Rosenberg and Big E, says, "This is wrestling. We don't sit and talk to people afterwards, blah, blah, blah." Like, dude, just stop. And then to say it was John's idea, like, that's the type of stuff, man. Like, if he would, like, I just own up to certain things or find someone to tell you how to give certain answers, man. That's the stuff that because they're saying the quiet part out loud to you. Like, they don't care. They don't care that this type of stuff could be, like, certain things are offensive. And it's like they're not treating certain things with the care that it should be. Like, oh, well, the people that were involved are gone, so there shouldn't be any problems now. Well, one of them is back, but it doesn't really matter because blah, blah, blah. And it wasn't my idea. It was John's idea. He wanted to wrestle him again. Like, that's the stuff. That stuff too. Like, I wish he was better at, but good luck. Because I don't know if he'll ever see the forest through the trees on that type of stuff. And that's that is just as shameful as the people that are in high media standings or people who cover wrestling, dying on the hills that they died on this weekend. But yeah, man, it is what it is. And hopefully something moderately good comes out of certain things. Go sign up for the Toys for Tots League. That's a good thing you can do.
There you go.
That'll make you feel
there
good.
You go. That's a segue. That'll make you feel good. It's a good thing. And you can have fun while you're doing it. So Toys for Tots sign up. They shut off here in I think about 9 days if you want to get involved in a league. So head on over to the site, check it out, sign up. It's easy. Say you want to play with CZ. Say you want to play with myself in a league. You get that option. Hey, you might want to be in a league with Joe the Show Monroe. Not Monroe, but Winkle, Joe the Show Winkle. Joe Monroe, I think, is playing with Joe. There's so many Joes in the wrestling world that I know.
Maybe that would be my wrestling name, Joe the Show Monroe.
Is Joe Monroe going to play, Chris?
I don't believe so. I would like him to, but
ooh, the evil twin of Joe Monroe.
Calling you out, Joe Monroe. Sign up for fantasy football.
Well, there you go.
In fact, you know what? Sign up for fantasy football. There's the QR code. You can click on that. Hold your phones up to the screen. Click on that and sign up today. We'd love to have you in our leagues.
I need to get that on my little thing so I can post that. But yeah, great. Yeah, give that. Post. Go give that some love. Put your phone there. Hit the thing. Go donate, and play some fantasy football with your friends. And give back to a good cause.
Yes. Very good cause. And
now for today's entertainment.
So where do we want to start? I mean,
dealer's choice. Should we just
SummerSlam Night 2. I mean, they had SummerSlam Night 2 had a hard act to follow with how one ended. Did SummerSlam Night 2 live up to the expectations, and how did it compare to Night 1, guys?
I think it lived up to the expectation. I think it exceeded the expectations, in all honesty, and I would put it better than Night 1 in a lot of regards. Like you said, it's hard to top that ending.
How so?
Well, the biggest standout for me is you said it. I don't remember you said it on air. If you said it to us before we went live, but one of Cena's best 3 matches. 100%. And that alone is worth the price of admission, because everybody criticizes Cena for his 5 or 6 moves of doom. You know, the you can't see me, the shoulder bumps, et cetera, et cetera. When he is on his game, the man can go. And he was very much on his game last night, or Sunday night, sorry.
I thought he was brilliant. That match was great. I thought night 2 was better because there was better wrestling. The first 2 matches I thought were really good. The middle of the show was not great. And the end of the show, the last 2 matches were awesome. And overall, if you just cut the show off while John Cena's walking out of the ring, I think we have maybe not an all-timer, but it was a great night of wrestling. But yeah, when you look at the matches in general, the 4 of the 6 matches absolutely banged, and I had a great time.
Yeah, you go back and look at this card. There was nothing overly really long. The men's main event was at 37:45. Yeah, I guess you could talk about the women's intercontinental match, going 25:05. But that's also a no disqualification, no count out type of deal. So it is going to go longer. But throw that comment back up there if you could. The first one. Both of them actually. Striker, this is the only time you're going to hear this from me since I'm a mark of John Cena, but that was the best match of Cena's I've seen. I can't argue that. I'd have to go back and really think about all the other matches he's had in the past, because he's had some really good ones. But this one was obviously the best match of his current run, which isn't really saying a lot. But of the whole, I don't know how this one gets topped, but I'm looking forward to seeing how it does. What was the other comment?
I'll throw that up in a second, Nick. You mentioned this was in his top 3. What are the other 2 matches for you?
I said I'd have to go back and think. I mean, I know there's some in his past. I know he had some battles with Edge that were good. And I'd like to go back. I think it's in my top 3. It could be number 1, but it's definitely up there.
I'll throw Money in the Bank 2011 out there.
That's an easy one. I think that's the best match he's ever had. I think it was his best. I think it was his best match since the AJ match at Rumble when he won the 16th title, which was in 2017.
That was a really good match.
I think that was the best. I think Sunday was the best match he's had in literally 8 years.
Okay, fair enough to say. Anthony Bluer here. The women's triple threat could have been longer. I don't disagree there. What do you guys think about this? What do you guys think about the women's triple threat going on first, which essentially means that Becky and Lyra is the higher build match on the card? Is that something, or is that not something?
I don't know that I agree that Becky and Lyra is the higher build match, because the opening match is one of the most important on any show.
Yeah, they do treat the opening matches like they're
Then why is one match getting pretty much 10 minutes more than the other when it's the lesser of the 2 titles?
I think it's more because of the stipulation than anything else.
Okay,
that was a no disqualification match.
I have a facetious answer to that.
What's that?
It's because the triple threat match wasn't an overbooked mess.
Right.
I thought the triple threat was really good. I don't think it was as good as the one at WrestleMania. But it was really good. Those 3 killed it. Women's wrestling is carrying in WWE in the year of our Lord 2025.
I don't disagree with Stryker here. I would have been fine with this opening. I think the fans wouldn't have crapped on it as much. But man, there's some awkward silences in that match, and the crowd's kind of, I don't know, when I can hear, the buzz of a conversation more so than the buzz of excitement, it's kind of not good, right?
And for those who are listening after the fact, we're talking about Becky and Lyra right now. That was kind of an awkward transition.
Yes.
But yeah, I would have been okay with that opening the show. But honestly, if it were me, the women's triple threat, or the only thing that I would have switched it out with is Dominic and AJ.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Yeah,
I would have switched. The only thing I really would switch is matches on certain nights, because I think the way the card was structured, it didn't do much of a. It didn't help in a way. You know what I mean? Like
But you
because
also can't load up one night more than another.
and that's what I think they did. That's the problem. Like
You
I
think
think
so?
night two, yeah, I think night two was the sick. I thought night two was pretty much if you had to. So they had 12 matches. If you put them all together, I think the only two matches on night one that are even worthy of being in the top 8 are the first and the last
Third-
match, and then the
Yep.
rest of and then the other 6 in the top 8 were the ones on Sunday. I think they structured the cards poorly in a way to where that's where you got this little mess. But yeah, but I thought because if we're looking at both women's matches, in general, I thought the problems that I had issues with the women's intercontinental match,
Obviously.
which sucks because yeah, I was complaining about things.
But I
It
mean,
sucks
it was an
because
obvious
those
thing.
two.
It
Yeah.
was an obvious thing. Would you have been better off? We're going to talk about this. Talking about, of course, the zip tie spot in the Lyra Becky Intercontinental Championship match. Becky gets one of those industrial-sized zip ties and zip ties together Lyra Valkyra's wrists. A few moments later, Lyra Valkyra is seen with it off because it was loose enough.
Mm-hmm.
Should she have just dropped it and went with it, or should she have just kept going like she did?
I guess I wish that it never became a thing. The problem with, which I guess is the easy way out, but that match was everything wrong with these WWE plunder matches, you know? And certain stuff was very overbooked for the melodrama. It didn't help that Bayley missed her cue twice. The only two things Bayley had to do in the match, and she missed her cue both times, and it made the finish sloppy, and it made her initial interference sloppy. And it sucks because those three have done a fantastic job through all of this, from Bayley getting hurt at WrestleMania to those two winning the tag titles, to them losing them to Lyra and Becky winning the tag belts, to them losing them in 24 hours, and Becky turning heel on Lyra, to the matches that they had. All of them were great. The triple threat at Evolution was good. Everything worked. And this match was not good. I'm sorry. It was overbooked. There was too much. There was way too much dip on the chip. Would it have helped if this match was in an arena and the crowd was into it? Maybe, I don't know. But also, like, there was just certain things that were happening that I felt made it, that way. Like, way too much zip tie stuff. It didn't have the grit. It didn't have the heat that the other matches especially those two had before. And it sucks because the story they had told up to Sunday was awesome. It was worthy being middle of the card Sunday night of SummerSlam. And unfortunately, they were given a bad deck. Does that make sense?
Do you think that's because the story was maybe running out of steam?
I don't think so. I don't really think. I mean, maybe a little, but because everyone now is wondering, like, is Bayley going to turn on Lyra, etc. But I don't think so because, like, all of these matches that they've had have been really good, and it's been going on for 4 months. This was a layup, man. Becky Lynch is not always my cup of tea for women's wrestling, but it's Becky Lynch in a stadium against one of the top young stars for their top mid-card title. It should have been a layup, but they tried to do too much. That's what I mean when they say, like, they had way too much dip on the chip, Like,
That's understandable.
That's I hate it. I hate that match didn't do well because it should have been great. It should have been really good, but
No, I agree. It should have been, but it also should have been about maybe 6 to 10 minutes shorter than it was. It dragged on for what it was. The fact that it wasn't delivering the way that previous matches with these ladies have delivered, it dragged on for way too long.
And
I'm over plunder matches in WWE, and I'm over Texas death matches in AEW. We can get rid of both of these stipulations for like the next 3 years, and wrestling will be in a better place. I promise you.
Here's the thing too, like the card structure, right? And it's why the middle third of the show just stunk. And we're going to talk about good things, I promise. You have the women's triple threat, then you have this all-out 6-team tag team match that is chaos, and it was incredible, right? And
yes and no.
And then you have a plunder match, which is right after this extreme high point spot tag team match that has a bunch of plunder in it. But you have this street fight that has more spots, but it's melodramatic and drawn out. Then you have a cage match in a story that's been dead for like a year and a half that also involves like interference and melodrama and
handcuffs.
And handcuffs. Yes. Yeah. Another version of hands being tied. And then the final 2 matches were just wrestling matches. I know the Cena Cody Rhodes match involved, it was a street fight, but it was 2 pro wrestling matches that ended the show. The middle, that's why the structure of, that's why I wish that like if you could have restructured both nights, you could have got 2 perfect nights of wrestling, but that's what killed that's the only thing that held night 2 down was the way the card was structured.
So if we had brought AJ and Dominic down a couple slots, would that have helped?
I think if you put like the women's tag team title, like flip the women's tag team title match and the Becky Lyra match, flip those nights, and then you flip like you flip the Dom AJ match with like the, I don't want to say the jelly roll match, but maybe you could say that, just to break things up a bit.
Yeah, but you got that jelly roll match night 1, so you can run the highlights and talk all about it night 2.
Yeah, I was trying to think of what other match you could flip the Dom match with. That was on night 1. God, my brain just broke.
Sammy and Karrion Kross.
Yeah, you could do that because that puts a good match that happened on night 1. You know what I mean? And ups that, and then the shows are a little more even. Oh no. Other than I want to ask you this real quick about the tag match, Nick. Other than the who won, is that the only thing that brought that match down for you?
It was.
I thought when we were watching that, we were having a great time.
I feel bad for all the other guys in it because to me it was so obvious why they were winning. Think about it.
What's your reason? I'm stumped.
Hollywood Horror Nights, buddy. That's why they won.
Oh yeah.
That's why they retained. I would have thought that match would have been later in the night, considering that the biggest faces in I guess the Wyatt 6 are faces. I guess, after murdering the backstage like 3 months ago, they're faces. But their entrance relies a lot upon the darkness and the people's phones, and they didn't do that really with it being so early in the show. So I thought it would have been later in the show. No, there were some great things in that ladder match. Hats off to everybody who participated in it. There was some crazy stuff in that thing. And I think everybody escaped unharmed for the most part. I have not read or heard of any injuries from that match yet. But it was crazy, dude. It was a however minute long roller coaster it was. I mean, there were some spots in there that made you, yell out loud, jump out of your seat, like, what the hell's going on here? But I mean, it delivered. It delivered. Other than who won it, I thought it was great.
I thought all 12 people that I thought all 12 of them, and then some, because others like Candace, Nikki, the other members of the Wyatt group, they all clocked in. B-Fab even, shout out to her, I guess. All of them clocked in. and they went to work on Sunday. That's for sure.
So I'm gonna put up a couple comments from Stryker because he makes some good points. First of all, Sunday night, not a single match didn't have a title on the line. Every match was for a title. That being said, yeah, Sunday night was all titles. That being said, should the United States Championship have been showcased at some point on the SummerSlam card?
I mean, yeah. I mean, let's talk about all the names that weren't on this show. There are a lot of them.
Yeah.
You've got LA Knight not on the show. Stephanie Vaquer not on the show. Julia not on the show. I know I'm forgetting some guys that were not on the show.
Andrade was on the show.
Raw tag team belts not on the show. I mean, we get 6 championship matches on night 2, which I'm not complaining, but at Night of Champions, we only had 2 championship matches. I mean, let's look at something here. Yeah, I don't know. I mean, Joe recommended what he did with the changing of the cards to make the card nights better. I thought when they split the matches, I don't know if they could have split them better without those things that we talked about. So, we got Cody and Cena, which I believe is one of Cena's best matches. Dom and AJ, with AJ wearing the throwback to Eddie, with the tights, the boots, the entrance, everything. That was cool. That was really fun. That was a fun match. Let me ask you this. What are the chances Dominic Mysterio wins the AAA title here in about 11 days? You think they do it? You think they pull the trigger and have him win?
I wouldn't be surprised at all. Because
the match is for Vikingos AAA Mega Championship. So it's Vikingo. It's El Grande Ludwig Kaiser. It's Dragon Lee, and it's Dominic Mysterio.
And Dominic's got a lot of momentum and a lot of eyes on him.
And it's free on YouTube, so don't miss it.
I can see them definitely putting that belt on Dominic Mysterio, making him a double champion, because the only thing that's going to do for AAA is bring more eyes to their product that aren't there.
I'm low-key, like, can we hope that whoops, sorry, didn't mean to pull that on. Can we hope that Dom becomes a belt collector? Can he get his Kenny Omega on? He's going to have the IC belt. He's going to win the AAA belt, go to TNA and beat whoever's got that for the belt. Dom Mysterio, belt collector.
They're
Come on
eventually going to turn him face, and I'm not going to want that.
He's just going to be undeniable at that point. Like, especially when Liv comes back and the Judgment Day they'll turn heel on Liv and Dom, and they will be over like Rover, which they already are over like Rover.
You think Liv and Dom are getting back together, huh?
Yeah, I would hope so.
Oh, I was hoping it was Roxanne. And then you got face Liv when she comes back.
Mm-hmm.
That's kind of where I thought they were going, but
hey, I want whatever's going to be the best TV. And I'll leave it up to them to decide that. But man, I thought Roxanne and Liv would have a hell of a feud for the love of Dominic Mysterio.
Ending in a ladder match.
For the custody of Dom. That would be great.
Maybe what if Dom was in the shark cage?
Ooh.
About like where he can't get involved.
Sign me up.
What sticks out to you next, fellas, from SummerSlam Night 2?
The Dom match was great. AJ Styles really, those trunks that AJ was in were sick.
Let's talk about the kind of lackluster steel cage match.
Okay. Oof.
I mean, we've been getting different variations of Solo and Jacob Fatu for quite some time now. Of course, Solo took the belt off Jacob Fatu. It wasn't WrestleMania, it was at was it Money in the Bank?
He took the belt off LA. Oh, Solo off of Fatu. It might have been, yeah.
Okay. Been the champion. Fatu, essentially gets his rematch, and it's a steel cage match. Did not like the fact that they used handcuffs, even though Lyra was zip-tied a few matches earlier. I thought this was a match Solo Sikoa had to win. If he's going to have a group, these four guys behind him, they've got to have some gravitas. They got to have something to their name. So getting this win, I guess, establishes that. Is that a thing? I mean, are these guys going to get more momentum now? And it looks like Jacob's maybe done with Solo for a little bit.
I would hope. So you said the other night on the show we did Saturday, you have three people that you are seeing ascending. You said one was Braun Breaker.
Yep.
One was Dominic Mysterio. And you couldn't remember the third.
Jacob Fatu.
The next night you said the third was Jacob Fatu. And then I quickly rebutted and said, I agree with you. However, is he going to be able to ascend if he has this bloodline-shaped noose tied around his neck?
No, that's why he lost. That's why he lost this match.
I'm hoping that's why. Because
I think he's good. Yes, this is going to be the new Jacob Fatu. We're not going to mess around with the bloodline for now. We are going to be a big star on our own. That's where I think it's going. That's where I think it's going. That's where maybe I hope it's going as a fan. And I think that's where fans want it to go. Because he can only beat up on his family for so long, right? It's time for him to go out and give us those matches with guys that we desperately want to see. I think with the WWE machine behind him, now he's going to explode. People go nuts for his stuff. I'm sure he's selling merch like hotcakes off WWE Shop. They're going to get behind him. They're going to push him even further. So, those are the three guys I think that are on a trajectory here, if you want to say. And if you want to throw in a fourth, I'll go Stephanie Vicaire. If you want to go with like the four people I think who are going to explode here real soon, if not already.
Let's talk about Stephanie Vicaire for a minute. You mentioned she's not anywhere on the SummerSlam card. She has a women's title match in Paris at the end of the month. Yet where is she? Why is she not featured anywhere on this show?
Yeah, I know she was in town for signings, the whole Fanatics Fest and all that hoopla. She's there. Maybe they just, didn't want to jeopardize something that they already have a program for. No need for her to get hurt against somebody when they've got a match set up already. I don't know. I can't tell you the answer to that, but it was bummed that she wasn't wrestling. I think she's in the discussion for best women's wrestler in that company right now. There are several that can be in that conversation, probably 4 or 5. But I think she's in the conversation. But no, I think because she already had a match locked up for Clash in Paris, which is at the end of this month, that's why we didn't see her on this card.
That's fair.
She's beating Naomi, right? Do we think she's beating Naomi?
God, I hope she is. I hope she is, man. I think it's a big swing and miss if they don't. I think it's man, you had her dominate NXT in such a short amount of time. You had her get the belts off her, and and now she is on the main roster. She's a star. Make her a star. Make her a star. A bigger star.
Yeah.
Don't disagree.
Strap a rocket to her. Take her to the moon.
To the moon.
I want to backtrack a little bit, Joe. You mentioned I want to go back to talking about Solo and Jacob. Jacob is destined to be a world champion. I've said it before. I give him 2 years or less. Solo Sikoa has the chops to be good if done right, but you mentioned the bloodline noose. And I think that is going to hold him back the longer he has this faction behind him. I really do. Because I don't think they're trying to make this group as dominant as the actual bloodline was. And I don't think it's ever going to be there. I don't see it getting there.
You mean like the solo bloodline, right?
Yes.
Yeah, I think so. They're destined. They're mid-card destined. I mean, that's kind of what they are, which is fine.
Well, let's hope he can break out of this noose, and go out on his own, because the Samoan wrestling dynasty is going to book itself for the next 5 to 10 years. You just hope he can find work outside of that storyline, like I think we all do, and go out there and have matches. Like, could you imagine a match with him and Finn Balor? I'm just trying to throw out names out there that he could have matches with. That would be something. I mean, come on, Jacob Fatu and Gunther. Why not? I mean, just think of the possible matches that are out there. So I think WWE understands what they have with him and see that, oh man, we can do so much more with him than just insert Samoan family plot here storyline. So I'm confident that they're going to do that and push him to be as such.
I certainly hope so. Anything else stand out to you, gentlemen, on SummerSlam Night 2?
Yes.
That we haven't already talked about?
Yes.
All right.
We are powered by Lopez Pizza, built by Durham Remodeling, and colored by Ryan Allison Tattoo. This is the Card Subject to Change podcast by the fan for the fan. I am your host, Never Wrong, Nick Bull. Joining me is my tag team partner, the Wizard CZ, hopping aboard for SummerSlam Night 2. He joined us for SummerSlam Night 1 review. He can be found at the Educated Ignorance podcast, Burden of the Bear podcast, wherever you like your podcast to be found and downloaded. This guy's there. He is Joe the Show Winkle, joining us for Night 2. Yep, that's what I wanted to say about Night 2.
I see what you did there. What did you guys think about the Raw after?
Did we want to, real quick before that, did we want to talk more about the main event? We didn't really kind of deep dive into it, other than talk about how we thought it was Cena's best match.
Okay. If we're going to pick apart this match, can we talk about, were there too many finishers being used? Yes or no? This is a passing of the torch moment. So I kind of give it like a little more leniency than I would at any other time. I mean, look at it like the Rock Hogan match.
Uh-huh.
Hogan had no business winning that match. Neither did Cena. If he's done at the end of the year and Cody's the face of the future, right? So that's how I view those matches. The crowd was 50-50 for each guy. I think it was probably genius of them to turn Cena face back on SmackDown the night before. We haven't really talked about that. I mean, what do we think about Cena turning face in a 5-minute promo and everything's okay with it after the last 6 months of crap that he's done?
Cena basically going, yeah, guys, sorry the booking for this has been bad. Sorry that we had no plan for it. I didn't mean any of it.
I like this better than The Rock just washing his hands of the whole Travis Scott dump that he took. But I'd like to know. I would really like to know. But the GOAT, the all-time greatest doing it, and Cody Rhodes is the next guy up to lead this company. Much more than just Cody winning the championship. It's the torch being handed off. It's your game now. Go run it is what that was. And to me, that makes this match even bigger and the match even better when these guys went out there, did some pretty different stuff. I know there was like a million crossroads, but I think when it's like a title match, big deal in the wrestling world, a la like a WrestleMania, or when you're taking on John Cena, I think it's okay.
So my thought process in all of this, when just looking at the match, to answer your first question, maybe 5 minutes less with a couple less finishers kicked out of. Do I wish that these matches could be 40 minutes without it without half of it being finisher spamming and kickouts. Of course I do, but it didn't kill it for me because I thought the match was awesome. It was so good. The thing that I wanted to bring up at the first, because our feed cut out Saturday night before we were able to give a prediction on the main event. I asked you guys afterwards while we were all watching what we were watching. I asked if, again, card subject to change, Unreal, episode 2, the prediction. I asked you guys, hey, if we would have picked, would we have all said Cena's going to win? We all said yes. And Cena lost. I think we all thought John was going to win last night. The only problem, and it's a small one that I have, well, it's a large one, but it's a small one because, again, the match was incredible. It sucks that there were about 4 or 5 moments in the match where I looked at you guys and said, okay, I'm scared because I'm waiting for someone's music to hit. You know what I mean? Like, I hate that I am conditioned to that now because these main events now are like overbooked, poop getting thrown at a wall. Let's have all of these shock run-ins. I was waiting for it. Like when Cena hit the AA off the top rope and then they were laid out there, I was terrified. I was like, God damn it, this is going to happen. I'm scared. This match has been great, and now it's going to go downhill. It didn't happen. And it was clean as a sheet, and that's what shocked me maybe the most, other than the fact that the match was awesome. But in general, the match was great. It was so good. And Cody winning was a little shocking to me. I didn't expect it. Obviously, what they're doing now, we litigated. But just in general, all in all, maybe Cody winning was the right move. So Cena can now go on this face redemptive story to end his career, and he doesn't need the title for that. But yeah, man, what an incredible moment. Cody Rhodes is the face of the universe. Cena, the entrance Cena had where it was black, and then when his music hit, like when it hit the hit moment, the colors came back. It was great. It was so cool. And yeah, man. Shout out to those two guys for making it happen. That was awesome stuff.
Agreed. Do we want to give a letter grade for the weekend for the 2 nights combined? What do you want to do, CZ?
Let's do it. I would say a solid B+ for the 2 nights combined.
That's a great grade. I will say B-, just so I'm not copycatting you.
I'll go B+. I'll go B+ as well. I was going to say B+ no matter what, even if you said it. I thought it was a solid show. Better than WrestleMania. But unfortunately, it's going to kind of be marred by what happened at the end of it.
Yeah.
I didn't let that dictate my letter grade. The 2-night thing, I guess we better get used to it because it's not going to go away. It's going to happen to other shows, and it's just a product of the wrestling environment that we now live in with the streaming, the social media. There's too much money to be made. It's going to happen. So, yeah.
In less than a year, we're gonna have 2-night Raws and SmackDown.
No, don't say that. Don't say that. I mean, it's coming. I mean, it's coming for Rumble. It's coming for SummerSlam. It's coming for Money in the Bank. Anytime now, where you've got like maybe an elimination chamber, where you've got a men's and women's Rumble, a men's and women's chamber, a men's and women's Money in the Bank, yada yada. This. You're probably going to get that into 2 nights, and that's going to be the case now. Yeah. So,
I hear a puppy.
Joe, I want you to say that again for me.
What?
What you said about Raw and SmackDown.
There's going to be 2-night Raws and.
Oh, wrong button! So sorry.
Where'd he go? Get that nonsense out of here! Shame on you.
How dare you?
Shame on you.
Yeah, I saw something that said that they were thinking about having 2-night Rumble and 2-night Survivor Series. Like, oh no, no!
The Rumble more sense than Survivor Series. I don't want to see the Rumble go to 2 nights, but it makes more sense than Survivor Series.
I don't
in
even
the
want to
Bank
watch
would
one
make
night
more
of Survivor
sense.
Series, let alone
Right.
2.
Money in the Bank would
just
make
not
more
call it
sense at this
Survivor
point than
Series.
Survivor
Let's just call it
Series.
War Games. It's not even Survivor Series. Those matches are so much a thing of the past. Nobody cares about those kind of matches anymore, unfortunately. So, anyways, Raw on SmackDown, or Raw after, SummerSlam. Anything you guys take away from this other than we get Seth Rollins in the opener and we get Seth Rollins in the main event?
I'll tell you what my takeaway. You put LA Knight in a title match, which I am extremely grateful for. However, I am so ticked off because it is a title match. You absolutely 100% know he is not going to win. There is no way when he came out and challenged Seth and Pierce made it official, there is no way in hell that he was walking away with that championship 2 nights after Seth cashed in. It was a throwaway match, and shame on them for doing that to LA Knight.
But he won the Eliminator.
Did you just say Eliminator?
Yeah, I did, because I hate the Eliminator. I hate when that's used. This is a guy I worry about. Because he lost a spot on the card for a worked injury.
Yes.
Right?
Right.
Or did maybe he knew then and there he didn't have plan. Regardless, that's another guy that I'm not sure.
I'll be right back.
I'm not sure what lies in the future for him. CZ's got a point. There was no way he was going to win this match.
No.
It was kind of a grab ass attempt to give him a title shot after he pinned Seth a couple weeks back on Saturday night's main event. I don't know what's next for him. I guess we don't know about the Braun Breaker possible knee injury. He was seen limping off.
From what I can, he looks okay. He was running around last night.
Too. I think they probably were just being precautionary. I mean, sometimes when you tweak a knee, those first 30 minutes are the worst. And then, I'm sure he's fine.
I have a hope after all this, after last night, the way Raw ended. I would love Clash in Paris All-Star 6-man tag, the Dangerous Alliance versus Roman, LA Knight, and Punk. That'd be cool.
You're probably going to get that. Is that going to bother you if you don't get a championship match? A major title championship match, because when's Cody taking off to go shoot this movie?
Oh, that's a good point.
Is Roman's out of the storyline right now? I think they wrote Roman out when they beat him down.
Oh, that's a good point.
So
maybe we get a triple threat match in Paris.
I mean, I'm thinking Rollins is going to defend the title, and I'm not banking on Cody or Roman being in Paris.
And LA Knight is going to be like, I'm pissed, bro, because you cost me the match and got me DQ'd, and then they make a triple threat.
Maybe LA Knight gets a title shot at Paris.
Yeah,
I'd be okay
I don't think, by the way, I don't think the Punk stuff's going to last. I hope. Pray, Jesus Louises. I don't think the Punk stuff's going to go to Mania.
You think it ends before that?
I think so.
Okay.
I think if I was a betting man today, I would bet the Royal Rumble winner. It could be CM Punk, because maybe that's how we get to CM Punk versus Cody Rhodes. But my guess is the World Heavyweight Championship will be decided between Seth Rollins and Royal Rumble winner Samuel Zayn. I think that's what we're getting. That's if I'm a betting man today, that's what we get.
I know, but after how Punk got beat, it just leads me to believe it's going to be Sammy, or it's going to be Seth and Punk. So you think they're going Sammy, Daniel Bryan 2.0?
Kind of, yeah. Sammy wins the Rumble. It's in Saudi Arabia.
Boom.
So, I think we're gonna get a Punk. I think we're gonna get Punk and Seth. I don't know. I told you guys this the other night, and I guess I heard somebody that I trust talk about, someone brought up to him like, oh my God, Seth and Punk is going to go till Mania. It's been going on forever. And he confidently said, yeah, I don't think it's going to last until Mania. And then that kind of reassured my original idea. I think we'll get like a Seth Punk big blow off match. Like, I would not be shocked if they re-racked Hell in a Cell for Punk. And this time it's with Seth, but this time Punk loses. And that blows the feud off. Because that would be
fair.
a hell of a, hey, Punk and Seth in Hell in a Cell in October, or for a world title. That's how you sell out. That is what you put at the top of a card. Make a B show mean something again. That's what you do right there.
Right.
Can we address the new gimmick of Bronson Reed?
Oh my God, the Shula Fala, the tribal thief, bro.
Dude, I love it. Dude, it hasn't been done. It hasn't been done.
That's the stuff I'm talking about, man. Be creative.
He's going around stealing people's shoes when he beats the crap out of them. That's like bully shit. It's great.
Bro, that was
Can we just have it be Roman's shoes for at least a little bit longer? Like every time he sees Roman's,
no one else wears as good as shoes as Roman, though. That's
Right. Oh, jeez.
The Shula Fala. That got me last night.
I saw that on Twitter when he said the wear of the Shula Fala. I wet myself. I was like,
what if he has a Shula Fala made of all the shoes that he?
That would go hard. That would be very heavy and probably uncomfortable, but also that would go hard.
Dude, that would go. That'd be over.
Yes.
People would love that thing.
And it would probably be good on the merch table too.
Yeah, make your own Shula Fala. Oh, Jesus Christmas.
Oh, I. Anything else that caught your attention last night on Raw?
Your guy's boy. Not to say he's not my boy. I just don't know him like y'all do. Stryker said that Becky Lynch promo was dope, and I saw a clip of it online. Oh boy, she damn, that hurt me, man. That hurt me.
She was cooking, and
bruh, that was crazy.
I don't mind her having this IC belt. I understand they want to give these secondary titles a reason, a lineage, and with as much talent as there is, men's and women's, on both shows, I find these titles are, during the Attitude Era, some random ass Joe would hold these titles for a couple weeks and then it hot shot to somebody else for 2 more weeks. It's good to see that, though I'm not a fan of like the super, super long reigns for every freaking title, it's good to see that they're giving some name recognition to these titles.
Yes. No, I agree. And I hope it continues. So we've got Nikki lined up now apparently for Becky, which what do you guys feel about that?
Let's get it done. It doesn't need to go on. One off. Let's get it over with.
Yeah, I agree. I've never been the biggest Bella fan, Nikki or Brie. I don't think they're completely I don't think they're completely horrible, but yeah, let's pull the Band-Aid off, give her one-off match with Becky for the title, and then move on.
Agreed.
I think that about wraps things up here for SummerSlam Night 2 and for the Raw after SummerSlam. I would like to thank Joe the Show Winkle from Educated Ignorance, Burden of the Bear podcast for joining us.
There you go.
He's got a busy fall coming up. Glad that he's on the show. Glad that he was here both nights. Glad he was able to hang. Always welcome here. We love having him. CZ, do we got anything else before we got to wrap up shop here?
Well, let's just do a little tap dance preview here. Sunday, we are bringing on Animosities. Tori
Let's hope
Fox.
the stream doesn't end this time.
Excited to hear. Yeah, let's hope so. This is where we ended on Saturday. Let's hope we can get off of this graphic. No offense, Story. We're excited to have you on. We're excited to hear about your time in wrestling because it hasn't been a long time, but we're gonna hear all about it. And then, of course, coming up on August 23rd, Podcasts Collide in Des Moines at Convergence Heroes for Hudson. I don't know about you, Nick, but I'm getting super excited for that show from 2 Count and Shotgun Wrestling Radio.
Absolutely. A lot of moving parts coming together for this show, both not on the podcast side, but of course on the wrestling side of things as well. I know a lot of promotions have joined up for this, so for a good cause. And of course, wrestling is like a family. So when something like this happens, everybody gets together, and it's a good cause. It'll be a good time. Looking forward to it.
I am too. I'm super excited, and I can't wait to get there. But for now, that's going to wrap things up for us here on Card Subject to Change. Like Nick said, thank you to Joe the Show Winkle, my biggest fan, for joining us again. We love having you on, Joe. For my tag team partner, Mr. Never Wrong, Nick Bull, I am the Wizard CZ. This has been Card Subject to Change, and we'll see you right back here next time for another episode.
This has been a For Frequency's Sake Podcast Network production. For more great content, subscribe to For Frequency's Sake on YouTube, Facebook, and Twitter.